My child's autistic. Now what? My husband and I have 5 kids, and our 2 youngest are autistic. Our son Ezra is 7 years old, and he is level 3 autism, which mainly just means he needs a little bit more support. Ezra is nonverbal, and he communicates through an iPad. He loves chords, and he loves water bottles. And our son Simon is our youngest. He's 3 years old, and he loves cars. He's level 1 autism, which mainly means he needs a little less help. And in this video, we'll be talking about all the things I wish I would have known at the beginning of my journey, when I first found out that my son was autistic. The first thing I have to say before anything else is your child is exactly the way they've always been. But you now have an autism diagnosis for your child, which means that you have a pathway that you can go where others have gone before and people are with you. And I don't want you to feel alone in this path and in this journey of helping your child get the most autonomy in their life. And I want you to focus. If you only take one thing from this video, please remember to focus on helping your child become more independent. That'll look different for each child. That looks different for Ezra and Simon. Simon is only 3, and yet he's already potty trained and he can write his name. And Ezra is still working on getting potty trained. We still have hope. We're really excited for the day when we can post a video on tips on how to potty train a severely autistic child. But we're still working on that with Ezra. And that's going to look different for each child, and that's okay. We used to live in an RV. Yes, 5 kids in an RV, and we traveled to all the national parks in that RV. We learned a lot.
Crazy, 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 crazy.
We're still sharing about that adventure, and we post continually about our unique normal, so please consider subscribing.
I will subscribe.
Mark, I'm doing a video, hun. We can't have the piano in the background. As a parent, when you first find out that your child's autistic, you can have different feelings. You can have denial. You can mourn the child that you thought you had, this neurotypical child that you had planned on having. You can do that. I just want to give you permission to feel all those feelings so that you can move on and concentrate on helping your child. Because now you're an advocate for your child and you can stand up for them and help them get the support that they need. We talk a lot about this in our ASD club. We meet every week for video chats, so click the link below and join our ASD club and we will chat more about that. But there is one feeling that I want you to never feel. There's no reason for you to have to feel this, and that is this word right here. Please don't feel guilt. You did not cause your child's autism. There's nothing that you did or didn't do that caused it. I know there's a lot of stuff online that's going around now and will be of people's experiences and sharing it. They got the answer. We made a video here when my husband and I actually interviewed a professional that talks about data and proof of what people actually know concerning the cause of autism. You can check that video out here. But please do not blame yourself. That's a super unhealthy feeling, and it's not helpful for anyone, especially your child. You have an autistic child, and that is a gift that is given to you. And it might seem like a weight sometimes, but I promise you, there are so many blessings that come and so many things that you will learn. So take it from a mom who's been there and who is literally there right now. This may not be the journey that you picked, but it's the journey that you're on, and there's a reason for it. And if you don't know that reason now, I promise you that you'll figure it out later on. Here's 3 things that I wish someone would have told me when I first found out my son was autistic. The first one is create your support group. Think about everyone in your life who is truly helpful. Sadly, it may not be your close family members. Write down those people's names and their phone numbers and make sure you have them in your contact list so that when you need help, you know who to call. I want you to search up Facebook groups that are local in your area. We were literally in a hospital for 3 days trying to figure out what was wrong with Ezra, and the doctors had no idea. They wanted to just send me home, but he was screaming at the top of his lungs and not even sleeping at night. And we couldn't figure out why. Keep in mind, he is nonverbal and he just couldn't tell us what was wrong. One night at the hospital, I just prayed and I didn't know what to do. And as I was praying, I got the idea that I should take a video of him screaming and put it up on a private Facebook group just for autistic parents. I did that and I couldn't believe the love that came. I wrote down everything that people commented, every idea. And some of them were better than others. And I brought it to the doctor and I said, these are some ideas. What do you think? The doctor was really excited about the list that I made and he wanted to read it. And we went through it and then he just looked at one word and he said, that's it. That's it. And it was acid reflux. My child was suffering from acid reflux, which honestly is a pretty simple thing compared to all the things we thought he had. And there were literally hundreds of parents on social media that could tell because they also have autistic kids and they'd seen that in their own home. Find local groups that support autistic families. So in that group, I want you to find babysitters. My husband says, we got in a wreck, but we're okay, almost home. What the? Oh my gosh. Better not be his fault. So, you know, unexpected things happen sometimes while you're shooting a video even. And you just have to like roll with the punches and remember your reason why you're doing things. So your support group. Build your support group with babysitters and with people locally that you can depend on. And I would also include Facebook groups. I would also include finding YouTubers. And if we're one of the YouTube families that you want to follow, then great. But if not, find someone that you really vibe with, you feel like understands you, because there's no reason you need to feel alone. There are so many people who are on the same path as you. And even though their experiences are not exactly the same as yours, if they have an autistic child, there's so much you can relate to with them. So create your support group. That's number one. Number two is research and keep organized. And I am naturally not an organized person. I am very like, let's do things in the spur of the moment. Let's not finish 1,000 projects and start another new one. And I have piles of papers all over my house. So I'm not very good at this. But I do have certain files where I keep medical records and bills that I paid and assessments that were done and papers of official diagnoses and things like that. And it's super helpful because there will be a time when you'll need to compile all that paperwork. Whenever you're applying for any kind of services, believe me, you will be more confident as an advocate if you've done the research on what an IEP is. I remember my first IEP meeting with Ezra, very first one. I was in the car about to go into the school and I realized I don't even know what IEP means. So I looked it up on my phone right then and I saw it said individual education plan, and I went in there and the first thing that the principal said to me as he was shaking my hand was, do you even know what an IEP stands for? And I said, yeah, I do, individual education plan. He didn't know that I'd actually just looked it up in the car like literally 2 minutes before. And I ended up recording with my phone the audio of the first IEP meeting. And that was really good for me because then I was able to listen to it again and learn so much more about how to help my child. Now, not everyone's gonna have an IEP meeting. You might homeschool your child, you might put them in public school or a charter school, or even do therapy and have them go to a clinic. But however that looks for you, please get organized and do the research so that you are prepared and confident to advocate for your child. Please put in the comments if you have any questions or any videos that you want us to make for you. We are here for you. We're super excited that you're here and part of this community, and we can't wait to serve you more with more videos. And the third one is to choose to enjoy the journey. I want you to do 2 things for me on this one. I want you to schedule time where you do fun things that your child likes and fun things that you like to do with your child, whatever that looks like for you. A lot of times we'll go to the jumping place with Ezra and he loves it. It's super fun. We get to play with balls and trampolines and slides, and he just gets to run around and be himself. And that's a great way to burn off energy as well. And I want you to also schedule time just for you, so you can take care of your mental and physical health, so that you can eat healthy, so that you can exercise. Please schedule time for yourself. When you have your own hobby that helps you create your own identity apart from being a parent, you're a better parent. So have your own hobbies where you're learning, where you're mastering a skill, where you're creating something, however that looks like for you. If you're a parent of an autistic child and you've been on this journey for a while, please put in the comments what you would add to this video. What didn't I mention that you wish you would have been told at the beginning of your journey when you were just finding out that your child's autistic? Here's 12 examples of autism stimming, and our autism playlist is here.